Clara felt the danger even before she saw his face. The train shook across the wide, flat fields, sun shining hard through the glass, and a heavy shoe suddenly caught the edge of her seat. She looked up and saw him, Dean Farley, a man with a bad smile that felt like a hand on her neck. He moved closer as the train rocked. His breath smelled of cheap drink and dirt. "So you travel alone, dear?" Clara held tightly to her small bag. "Please stay away," she said. Dean gave a quiet, low laugh, as if her fear was a fun thing. "I like the quiet girls. It makes the surprise nicer." People sitting nearby acted like they did not hear. He put his hand on the seat, just a few inches from her leg. "Do you have a name, or should I just call you mine?" Clara forced herself to look away, watching the fields pass by, trying to breathe. She had come here for a promise to marry, a new life, a chance to belong. Not this. Dean moved even closer. "You know what men in this area like." She whispered, "Please stop." Dean laughed again. "I asked you something, sweet girl. Will you answer?" Clara stood up quickly, trying to move past him. Dean stood up too, blocking her path with his body. His hand brushed her side, and she gasped and fell back a little. The train made a loud noise as it slowed for Silver Creek. A big man in an old army coat stepped onto the stone platform. He looked at faces with the careful, worried look of a man who had seen too much fighting and too many bad seasons. Owen Becker. His hands had the marks of war and hard winters. Clara had never seen him, but she knew it was him. Dean followed her off the train and saw where she was looking. His smile became ugly. "Well, you must be the little bride," he said. He had heard the man running the train joking with another worker about a farmer near Silver Creek, a man named Owen Becker, who had written to the east for a wife. Dean had land a few miles from that town, and in a small place, news moved fast. Clara froze. Dean stepped behind her and spoke low near her ear. "That farmer is old, weak. A man like that cannot keep a woman like you safe." Clara pulled away from him and walked quickly toward Owen. Her legs felt heavy, but she kept going. Owen met her with unsure eyes. "Are you Clara Whitlock?" She nodded. Before she could say another word, Dean lifted his hat and called out, "Take care of her, Owen. She's a pretty one." Then he walked off the platform, still smiling as if he already knew the end of the story. Later at the farm, Clara slipped on loose, dry grass. Owen caught her fast, holding too hard in his hurry to keep her steady. Both fell onto the soft grass pile, and her dress ripped at the leg. The cloth tearing sounded loud in the quiet barn. "Don't! You ripped my dress!" Her voice shook. Owen stepped back right away, his mouth tight. "I held you too hard. That won't happen again." Lying there, Clara understood a hard truth. Out here, a woman either found the right man to stand in front of her, or she learned to stand alone. Did you ever wonder what kind of man you would trust to stand up for you? Clara did not sleep well that first night. Every sound seemed louder in the dark. The call of a night bird, the noise of an old board. Even the soft air seemed too close. She kept seeing Dean on the train, leaning in with that bad smile, like he already owned her life. Then she saw Owen in the barn, surprised and sorry as he moved away from her torn dress. Two men, two very different kinds of fear. The morning sun warmed the ground, but Clara still felt the cold from the night before. Owen waited on the porch with 2 metal cups of warm coffee. He did not look at her right away. He just held the second cup out like a gift of peace. His voice was low and soft. "Clara, I am sorry about yesterday, but I should have been more careful." She nodded once. "I know you did not want to scare me." Owen looked less worried, but not totally. Men like him carried guilt the way other people carried dust on their shoes. Once it stayed, it never fully left. He showed her the farm, step by step, speaking gently, stopping often like he did not want to rush her. The open fields went on forever, yellow in the morning light. The cows ate grass near the fence. It was calm in a way Clara had never known. Still, she felt a strange tension in the air, as if something not wanted was near. That feeling turned out to be right. Dean rode up just before noon, smiling as if he was asked to come.
His farm sat over the far hill, close enough that he could see smoke on a clear day. He had kept cows in this valley for years, and he liked to think every fence post here owed him something. He tipped his hat at Clara with the same hungry look she had seen on the train. "Mornin', dear. Hope the farm is treating you kindly." Clara stepped back without thinking. Owen noticed his jaw tightened. "Say what you came to say, Dean, then right away." Dean shrugged. "Maybe I'm just checking on my new neighbor. Maybe I'm checking on your future wife. A man never knows what might happen here." Clara felt her stomach hurt. Owen stepped between them with quiet strength. "She is in my house. That means she is safe. You can go home now." "Safe is a funny word, Owen. People think they're safe right up until they're not." He winked at Clara, climbed back on his horse, and rode off slow enough to keep her heart beating too fast. Even when Owen tried to make her laugh by teaching her how to hold a rope, she kept looking toward the road as if Dean might come back, and Owen saw it. He watched her in the quiet way older men do when they care more than they know how to show. Dean had ridden away, but the dust from his horse still hung in the air. Clara did not know when he would be back, only that men like him almost never stayed gone. The question was not if Dean would come near her again, it was how bad it would be when he did.
Clara woke up early the next day with a heavy worry still sitting in her chest. The memory of Dean smiling at her from his horse kept coming back like a shadow that would not leave. But something else pulled at her too, a quieter feeling, a feeling that came from the way Owen stepped between her and danger without even thinking. She found him already outside fixing a loose fence post. His shoulders looked tired, but his eyes softened when he saw her. "Morning, Clara. Thought you might sleep late today." She shook her head. "I wanted to help if I can." Owen paused, then gave her a pair of leather hand covers. "All right, just stay close. This place can hurt you if you do not know where to step." They worked next to each other in the warm sun. It was the first time she had seen anything close to a smile on his face. By the middle of the day, he led her to the area for horses and showed her how to brush one of the calmer animals. He showed her how to check for small bugs along the neck and small rocks caught in the feet, little things that could hurt a horse and cost a man his money. Clara stopped when the large horse breathed hard near her ear. Owen stepped behind her, his voice steady and calm. "He is gentle. Just let him know you are not afraid." Clara whispered, "I'm trying." Owen nodded. "I see that." For the first time since she got off that train, she felt safe out on the fields. Feeling safe and being safe were two very different things, not because danger was gone, but because someone finally stood on her side, someone who meant what he said. Later that afternoon, while Owen fixed a broken door, Clara sat on a small seat nearby, fixing the tear in her dress. She looked up and watched him work. His hands were rough, his movements were sure. He looked up once and saw her staring. She turned red, and he looked away fast, almost dropping his tool. As the sun began to set, Clara noticed marks of a horse's feet along the road, fresh ones going a little too close to the house. Later, when Owen walked past them, he stopped and bent down. Shoed horse, front shoes chipped on the left. That is Dean's brown horse. "Clara, tomorrow I want to teach you how to fire the gun. People should know how to keep themselves safe here. Last time I trusted a quiet night, 3 men rode through this valley and did not leave it the same. I learned then that a promise is good, but a loaded gun nearby is better." She nodded, but her mind was still on those horse marks. She could not get rid of one hard thought. If Dean kept coming near the farm like that, what would happen the day Owen was not there to meet him? "If you are still with me, get a cup of coffee or a cold drink and tell me what time it is where you're listening from. And if you like simple stories like this, please follow so you never miss the next part." That evening, the sky over Silver Creek was bright orange, and Clara tried to shake off the heavy worry inside her. She kept looking toward the road, half thinking she would see those same horse marks appear again in the fresh dirt. Owen saw her worry, but he did not ask her about it. He only said one quiet thing. "Clara, I will not let anything happen to you." She believed him, but fear finds a way to stay in places a promise cannot reach. Later that night, Owen put the seat on his horse. He had to ride into town to meet a man about an old money problem that still held the farm down.
Clara watched him tie the last strap, her fingers holding her cloth cooking cover. "How long will you be gone?" He gave her a small smile. "A few hours, maybe less. Lock the doors and keep the light on." Then he rode off into the dark, leaving Clara alone with the quiet sound of the summer wind. Nights like this had a way of showing if a promise was worth anything at all. Clara tried sewing to calm her nerves, but every sound far away made her jump. A moving board, a horse making noise somewhere outside, the kind of sounds that might be nothing or might be something scary. Then came the knock, a slow, heavy knock on her door. Clara froze, her breath stopped in her throat. No one visited Owen this late, no one except the one man she hoped would stay far away. "Clara, are you awake in there?" It was Dean. His voice was thick with drink, but still sharp enough to make her skin feel cold. "Open up, dear, I just came to check on you. A lady gets lonely here at night." Clara stepped back from the door, her heart hitting hard enough to hurt. "Go home, Dean, you are not wanted here." He laughed, a low, cold sound that told her he would not leave. "Come on now, you think that old farmer can keep you safe forever? Let me in, Clara, I promise you will not be sorry." Suddenly the door handle rattled. Dean pushed the door open and walked unsteadily inside. His eyes were wild. Clara grabbed the gun Owen kept by the door. Her hand shook so hard she could barely aim. "Do not come any closer, Dean." He kept walking. "You won't shoot me. You are too soft for that." But just as he reached for her arm, the front door slammed shut. Owen stood there, breathing hard from the ride, his eyes darker than Clara had ever seen. "Step away from her." And that made a question no good man could ignore. When a man like Owen finds another man cornering the woman he cares for, how far will he go to stop him? Owen did not wait for Dean to move. He ran across the room, grabbed the man by the neck of his shirt, and pushed him hard against the wall with a force that made the whole house shake. Dean swung once in a wide, quick way, but Owen had seen much harder punches in the muddy trenches in the war. He moved away from the hit, pushed his fist into Dean's stomach, and took the fight right out of him. Dean's bad smile went away instantly. Owen's voice was low and deadly. "If you ever come near her again, I will bury you myself." Dean's face twisted, half scared, half angry from the drink, but Owen did not let him breathe long enough to talk back. He dragged him out of the house, threw him into the dirt, and pointed straight at the dark road. "Get out of here, and don't ever look back. You show your face here again, and I will let the town officer hear every story I know about you and other people's cows." Dean quickly got on his horse and rode off into the night, leaving nothing behind but the strong smell of cheap drink and dirt. The next morning, Owen rode into Silver Creek and had quiet talks with the town officer. News spread fast in a small town, and before the week was over, Dean knew he was being watched. After that, he kept a wide space of field between himself and the Becker farm. When the yard became quiet again, Owen stepped back into the house. He looked at Clara with a feeling she had not seen before. Not fear, not shame, just worry. He whispered, "I'm sorry, Clara. I should have been here sooner." Clara put the gun down and shook her head slowly. "You came when it mattered." Over the next few days, Clara noticed a change inside her. She had seen two kinds of men in this world, men who took what they wanted and men who protected what they loved. Owen was the second kind. Even if he never said the word love out loud, he showed it in the way he fixed the windows, checked the locks, and always made sure she walked next to him, not behind. Weeks later, Owen asked her to meet him behind the barn. The evening sun lit the field like gold. He held out the dress she had been fixing, the same one that tore on that first day. "I'm not good with a needle, but I fixed what I broke," he said softly. It was not perfect, the stitches were not even, but Clara touched the cloth and felt her eyes warm up. A man who worked this hard to fix what he had torn was a man she could trust to keep working, even when life pulled at their connection. Owen took a breath. "Clara, I would like you to stay as my wife. Not because of a letter, not because of a paper, but because I cannot imagine this place without you." Clara nodded before he even finished. "I chose this farm the day you chose to protect me." Later that evening, he put a small shooting tool on the small table next to her side of the bed. "Keep this close," he said. "My word is important, but cold metal still speaks loudest out here." Life on the flatland became steady after that. That fall, he led a small group of cows to sell and finally paid off the old debt that had been over the place for years. On quiet days, they hunted small animals along the stream and fixed fences before the cold winds came. And their story carried a small lesson, too. Sometimes the right person does not come at a perfect time. Sometimes they arrive in the middle of fear and still become the safest thing you know. And sometimes a man proves who he is not by how loudly he talks, but by how steadily he stands when someone tries to cross his line. Tell me this, if a man like Dean ever came into your home and talked to your wife or daughter that way, what would you do, friends? If you have a story from your own life that fits a moment like this, put it in the comments. If this story felt real to you, tap like so other people can hear it too. And if you want more stories about the Old West, about men, women, and the lines they choose to stand on, feel free to follow. Now get your coffee or your favorite drink and tell me, where are you listening from right now?